وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa la fahma lana illa ma fahamtana innaka antal jawadul kareem. Now I'm going to discuss a bit about the jinn catching. Some people see it as a new strange thing. It is strange, it is new, even if some people before us did it, but some people say it is bid'ah, it is shirk. Rasulullah did not do that, so we should not do it, and that is shirk, it is using jinns. So this is something we must clarify. So first of all, I want to say that the catching is only one piece in our work. Our work is not all around catching, even if that is a part that is very spectacular, how jinns come, how we speak with jinns, how they embrace Islam. But as you have seen, there's much more in our work and in the evolution of ruqyah. Secondly, the catching started by the dua of a possessed brother. How it all started: the first group I trained in Burkina Faso, when I left them, the sorcerers made sihr on them like rain, on themselves, on their families, on their patients, so that even if a patient comes for 1 or 2 problems, he will be better for 2 or 3 days, then he will get 10 problems. So the sorcerers were especially attacking their patients so that they will not get cured and so that no one will come to them. So the brothers found themselves spending all their time treating one another. And one of these brothers had already jinns possessing him, and he was fighting his own jinns, and he was reading Quran, and when he reached to dominate the jinn ran away. So the brothers got sad. How I have done all this effort, now the jinn is going to go back to the sorcerers, get new sacrifices, get more strength, come back on me, so I'm not getting out of this at all. So he said, Ya Allah, bring him back to me so I can finish him off. And in the same time, in the same moment, the jinn came back into him and he managed to finish him off. So when he then did that, then he realized that if any patient comes, he could just say, Ya Allah, bring me his jinn so I can control him, so I will catch him, and immediately the jinn will come into him, and the jinn will speak immediately, say, what am I doing here? I was with this patient, how come I came here? And we say that we asked Allah Ta'ala to bring you and Allah has brought you. And that puts the jinn in such a vulnerable situation that if we cut him, if we hit the brother this way, that will cut his body, and if you cut his head, so he will die, and if you read Quran, that will affect him immediately, and so that makes them embrace Islam much easier. So this is how it all started. And when we saw that the first time, we thought it was something special Allah has given him, because he has suffered so much and he has made so much efforts that Allah gave him that. But then we quickly realized that any person that was possessed could do that. But some people, when they are possessed and we try to use them for jinn catching, after we have removed their jinns, so that brings them back into being ill, into being tired, exhausted, and they cannot do it. So we will just treat them and let them go home and not use them as catchers, as it is harming them. And we will only keep those who can do it without any problem. So in jinn catching, there's nothing else than dua and reading Quran. There's nothing else. What you see is totally transparent. It's totally, there's nothing hidden. And I prove that there's nothing hidden, because in all our centers we treat people, we train people, and we get new jinn catchers, and we show people how to do the catching, and they do it, and there's nothing hidden. There is nothing hidden. All this work we are doing, bi'idhnillah, is for the sake of Islam. Even if you are gaining money and earning money with it, but I can tell you myself, out of these 60 centers throughout the world, I don't take any money out of that. Only if I'm here and I'm working, I get a part of what we work. But all these people, once they are trained, they are free to work, and we help them as we can, and the money is for them. So there's no other purpose in that but to help Islam. So there's nothing hidden. What you see, it is that. It is only using dua and Quran. There's nothing else hidden behind it. Amongst the ulama who accepted this method and authorized it, there's Abu Bakr Fofana from Ivory Coast, Aminuddin from Kano in Nigeria, Anas Ahmed Lala in Reunion Island, Sheikh Abdul Qayyum, Mufti Abdul Qayyum from London, Hujja Sulaiman in Germany, Sheikh Munir Kawankar in Tunisia, and the Saudi Arabia General Mufti and his assistant Ahmed Al-Mubaraki. Actually, the best answer I appreciated scientific answer was that of the Mufti of Saudi Arabia. When I explained to him, I gave him the paper, explained, he said that what is using dua and Quran is not haram. There's nothing forbidden with that, because the ruqyah is an open field. So if you do something with dua and Quran, there is nothing that is haram with that. Second point, you say that the jinn of the patient came to this man and he became Muslim and he went away. We cannot say it is true, we cannot say it is wrong, because we don't have anything, we don't have a way to attest that it is truly the jinn of that person that came into this person and now he has become Muslim and now he has gone. So are you sure about that? I said, yes, I am sure, because of experience, because of Quran, because of people getting cured, because of this experience has been repeated hundreds of times on tens of catchers. So I am sure this is how it works. They said, but we cannot be sure. We cannot say anything. And this is why we cannot write you a paper that what you are doing is good and you can carry on. All we can say is that using dua and Quran is not forbidden by religion. What you say, as you describe it, is not forbidden, but is it true? Is it working? We cannot say anything. So alhamdulillah, I found it a really scientific and logical approach, and clearly a Shari approach with deleels. So someone cannot agree, cannot believe, can say, no, this seems dodgy to me, I don't believe it, but you cannot say that we are doing something haram or something shirk. Now, ruqyah is an evolutive field like medicine. That means it is ijtihadi. That means one can make experiment, can make new methods, as long as there is no shirk. And there are many dalils for this, many dalils, but all the dalils in Sunnah go in show that the ruqyah is not something that is limited to what Rasulullah has taught. All the dalils. I will recommend you one book. I don't even know if this book is translated in English. It is الرقى على ضوء عقيدة أهل السنة والجماعة. Ruqya on the light of the aqidah, of the belief of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, from Abdullah ibn Nufay'. It is a Saudi doctor. It is not a book of ruqya giving methods to treat oneself. It is a book of analyzing the ruqya through Sharia look. And this shows very clearly that ruqya is an open field like medicine. So whatever new method you can do, as long as there's no contradiction with Islam, there's no shirk, you can do any method you want. And the next point, the hadith of the specificity of Sulaiman alayhi salam, of the kingdom of Sulaiman alayhi salam, shows that catching jinn is possible. This hadith, Rasulullah said one morning that yesterday evening shaitan, I was praying and the shaitan came to disturb my prayer, and I held him, I strangled him until I felt the cool of his saliva on my hand. And I wanted to attach him so that you will see him in the morning and the children of Medina will play with him. But I remember the dua of Sulaiman alayhi salam, so I let him go. So some people say, yes, so it is impossible to control jinns after Sulaiman alayhi salam. So this way of using this hadith is totally wrong. Because Rasulullah caught the jinn. He caught the jinn and he wanted to attach him. So it is possible to catch him, it is possible to attach him, it is possible to make a show of him. This is what Rasulullah wanted to do, but he remembered the dua of Sulaiman that says, رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَهَبْ لِي مُلْكَ لَا يَنْبَغِي لِأَحَدٍ مِّن بَعْدِي. Oh my Lord, forgive me and give me a kingdom that no one will ever have after me. And Rasulullah, as a respect to the dua of Sulaiman, let the jinn go. But that does not mean it was not possible, and that does not mean it was not halal for Rasulullah to do it. And the proof also is that Hadrat Abu Hurairah did the same thing. There's a jinn who came to steal, to rob the sadaqah, and he caught him and said, I'm going to take you to Rasulullah. And he said, please leave me, until he left him. So when he caught him, so that jinn now was his prisoner. And Rasulullah was asking him, what did you do with your prisoner yesterday? He was his prisoner, and it was possible for him to take him to Rasulullah and everybody will see him. And so it is possible to catch jinns after Sulaiman and it is not haram to do it. So what is special about the dua of Sulaiman Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَنْ يَزِغْ مِنْهُمْ عَنْ أَمْرِنَا نُذِقْهُ مِنْ عَذَابِ السَّعِيرِ. Whoever jinn or shaitan will disobey to Sulaiman will hit him by hellfire. So this is the power Allah has given to Sulaiman. If he tells a jinn, stay there or do this job, whatever he will tell him to do, that jinn has to obey it absolutely. Otherwise hellfire will hit him and he will die. So this is the power Allah has given to Sulaiman. We don't have any kind of power ourselves. It is just asking Allah and reading Quran to bring those jinns, and the jinns come. Now, also some people are surprised, how does this dua work? I mean, it is very strange that someone will have dua that will just say, Ya Allah, I want this, immediately this will come, and immediately this will happen, constantly like this in life. This is very strange. So what we say that the way dua works on jinns is the same way that Quran has effect on jinns. We know that the Quran burns the jinns when they are not Muslim, whereas the Quran does not burn the humans that are not Muslim. And we have seen the effect of Quran on jinns through various ways. The effect of Quran on jinns, for example, when we recite فَقَاتِلُوا أَوْلِيَاءَ الشَّيْطَانِ, fight the allies of the devil, and they will see that the allies of the devil are the sorcerers and the people going to sorcerers to ask them for sorcery. And when you read the verse of couples on jinns, they will understand that the jinn cannot be married with a human being, and Allah has made for him jinniyat or jinns to get married with and to be happy with. So the Quran has a direct effect on jinns that it does not have on human beings, and it is on the same way that the dua affects jinns. And this is something that we saw ourselves and we were surprised, and then we tried to understand why it is working that way. So if someone does not believe that we bring jinns only with Quran and dua, and accuse us of using shirk, this is very a serious matter. Accusing us of doing shirk just because they are surprised too much and they cannot believe that this is only using Quran and dua. So this is lie and calumnia. This is very, very bad thing to say, especially in Islamic field. So please be very careful if you are accusing us of such things. May Allah Ta'ala forgive us and guide us. Now, the last thing I want to say is that for many people, the opposition to jinn catching is a fixed idea in their mind. And whatever proofs, whatever thing we will give them, they still are not convinced. I'll give you two examples. One of my students, after some time, turned against me and came to tell me, no, jinn catching is not good because of this and that. So I answered his arguments, and he said, well, I don't have any more argument to say anymore. I don't have any more dalil to say that this is haram, but I will look for a dalil until I find it. I said, really, this is so much deceiving. This is so much deceiving. You don't have any dalil to say it is haram, yet you are convinced it is haram, and you are going to look until you find the dalil to say it is haram. This is not a proper way of thinking. If you don't have a dalil, it is haram, so you must say it is not haram, because I don't have any dalil to say it is haram. And why should I look for a dalil to say it is haram? Why do I believe it is haram when there is no dalil that it is haram? Subhanallah. So it is just that when some people see jinn catching, they say, wow, this is fantastic, how Quran and jinns becoming Muslim and going away, and they say so many things about how shirk is working and everything, and they say this is great, this is the power of Allah, Alhamdulillah, Allah has given us something to be the sorcerers and to relieve people. And some other people say, Astaghfirullah, he is speaking with jinns. What is this? This is very strange. Rasulullah was not doing that with Sahaba, and this is like sorcerers. They are the people discussing with jinns, and this person that the jinns come into his body, he must be very sick with that. So it is just the feeling. It is just the feeling they have, and that gives them this conviction that this thing must not be good. Must not be good, and that is why they have that feeling. And another situation, we were in a mosque, and there was an imam. He was not a proper imam. He was just leading the prayers. There was not a proper imam fixed there, and that was graduated imam. He was just one of them leading the prayer. And then so we were in that Islamic center making ruqyah, and after a couple of days he came and said actually he cannot keep us anymore because he does not agree with this method of jinn catching. And he said that there was one big alim that will come next day, tomorrow, and we must discuss with him, and he also knows about ruqyah, and if he accepts it, it will be okay. So that big alim came, and we showed him jinn catching. We explained to him everything we do concerning hijama from A to Z, and he said this is fine. And I can see him smiling, saying, لا بأس بالرقى ما لم يكن بها شرك. So Rasulullah said there's no problem using ruqyah as long as there is no shirk inside, so it is okay. Yet that small imam that was there, even that big alim said it is okay. He said, no, I don't agree, you must leave this place. So we had to leave. Alhamdulillah, ardullahi wasi'ah, the earth of Allah is large, so we have other places to go to. But this is how some people have just a fixed idea and keep thinking that this is shirk and this is wrong. May Allah Ta'ala guide us and forgive us and use us for the good of Islam and Muslims. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.